All right, Queens. In this episode, we're going to talk about, well, first of all, let me fix the mic. In this episode, we're going to talk about you playing big. No more sidelines. What your life could look like if you actually start playing big and seeing you as the queen that you really are. And more on the inside of Powerfully Her. Can't wait to see you on the inside. You know I love the music. Hope you dancing with me if you want to. Hi, Queens. How's it going? How is it going? I hope your day's going good. I hope you're feeling great. And if you're not, we are going to turn that frown upside down. And I really want to know how you're doing. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How's everything? How is your world, right? Two worlds, your world, first world, second world. How is it going? And I hope things are getting better and brighter for you. And because you deserve it. Okay. So, you know how we do it in this episode. Well, first of all, this episode 29. 29. That's so great, right? So great. Episode 29. I'm so happy. Let me make sure the light is on. I'm so happy that you are here and that we're doing it. I'm so happy. Thank you. And episode 29. So on with the show. In this episode, we are going to talk about playing big. I want you, and you want to, and you need to start playing big. No more sidelines, no more playing small. And what I mean by that is just that. Play big. Queen, I've said it multiple times before. You are heavy. You are heavy. And when I mean you are heavy, I mean you are amazing. You were strong. You were powerfully her. You are created from greatness. Greatness lives in you. You are grand. You are a giant. You're this. You could have so much, but you have to start believing in you. Remember when I spoke about how my father taught us there's 3 levels of faith. There's faith, believing in God, believing in yourself, knowing, and then being. You have to go through that stage, and we all do. We all do have to go through that stage. And because there are things that happen in our life and our experiences that changes our outlook. We all know that. That shapes our life, that shapes our belief, that shapes all of that. It does. But I want you to start knowing and believing that it is so important for you to see yourself as the giant that you are. It is so important, Queen. It really is. I see you for the giant that you are. I see you for who you are. I do. I know the struggles. I know the pitfalls. I know pitfalls. I know the pains. I know the insecurities. I know. I know the pain is real. I'm never going to ignore what you're going through. Never. But don't let it define you. Don't let it be you. Don't claim that identity. Don't let that be your story. Don't give that away. Don't just accept your circumstances. Don't accept the way things are for yourself. No, you can't. Look, do I wish that we could just not have to fight as much as we have to fight and things were a lot easier than they could be, and it just wasn't so difficult at times? Yes, I do. But God knows best. He knows best. Perhaps God is like, look, if I give you guys everything and you don't have to earn anything, you guys might not be the best human beings. I don't know. Could be. I mean, we have seen stories where people are just rotten human beings because they've been handed everything, as opposed to the hero's journey or the hero's story or the heroine's story where we have to fight through our way, make our fight for the best. And in that, we're building character. And then we turn out to be the person we've always wanted to be, who the person we always were emerges, right? Essentially. And that because you're being. So I get it. Right now, gas prices are high. There's a war going on. There's so many things that are going on right now. And I know, trust me, I know. But I want you to center yourself. You have to center yourself, Queen. You got to center you. When I say silence the noise when it comes to what you see on social media, that's the same thing in the external world. It doesn't mean you're ignoring what's happening. And I don't ever want to minimize pain. You know, I said that, especially worldly things. I don't ever want to be like, oh, that's not happening. Just power your way through it. The positive mindset, that goes beyond a powerful mindset. We're talking about some heavy stuff. But what I'm saying is that you can absolutely have the life that you want and you deserve. You can have it. You can truly make the world a better place. Your story can help other women, other girls, other people know that they too can have a great life. You see, when we see the things that happen in life, from the biggest evil to what we're seeing right now on display, is because of arrogance and entitlement. And once any of us get to a place where we give power to the darker part that does live in all of us, but it's a choice. If we give into the dark, you will become the dark. But the opposite is true. If you give into the light, you are the light anyway, but you will be what you truly are. You will become the light. So when you see the darkness on display, that's because continuing to give into the dark. We can't give into the darkness. You can't give into the darkness. And giving to the darkness starts with, and you know, many episodes I spoke about this, is listening to the whispers of the enemy. That's how it starts. It starts with not believing in yourself. It starts with doubting yourself. It starts with not believing that you deserve to have an amazing life. It starts with being in a position and a mindset of lack, that God does not have enough for you, that he doesn't want the best for you, so you ain't getting it. It starts with they're better than me, but why them, not me? It starts with nothing but negativity, as opposed to what God is love. Who he is love, abundance, security, faith, happiness, peace, loving, wholesome, enough, and more. Anything positive, all good is God. So therefore, we have to start in the beginning why we see what we see. Remember, two worlds in the external world, but we also see in our own world, because it starts very small. Everything starts very small, good or bad, it starts very small. And it is important for us to be aware. Remember, I speak about awareness a lot as well. We have to be aware of everything. We have to be aware of our thoughts. We have to be aware of our dreams. We have to be aware of our actions. We have to be aware of the things that we say. That's where the awareness allows you to have reflection. You can be aware of something before it even happens. That's wisdom. That's some good stuff right there. You know, you can tap into that. You can do that. But having the awareness piece allows you to have the perspective that God wants you to have. However, if you don't listen, if the good thing is, if you don't listen, you don't entertain the negativity, this is when starting to play big comes into play. Okay? This is when, you know what? You go from, I wish one day I could be an amazing writer. I wish I could write a book, to, I am going to write a book. I'm going to write a book. I don't know how, but I'm going to do it. You see how that changes? That positivity from one day, or no, not even one day, the yearning, the feeling that I want, the yearn, like I hope to, that feeling, that wishing, to, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make that happen. I don't know how. God's going to make it happen for me, but I'm going to do it. That's the playing big. Because although I've never written a book before, I don't know what it's like to write a book, but I know I have that feeling. I want to write a book. I've always enjoyed writing. I like poems. People enjoy my writing. I've always been told to write a book. Now I'm writing a book. I get ideas and stories. I want to write a book. And then you're like, you know what? I can do this. You start seeing in your head, you playing the beautiful movies in your head that God puts in there for us to show you that it's possible, because it's possible, right? And then you're like, you know what? I can do this. I can do this. And you start doing it. Or maybe it's painting, whatever it is. I wish I could paint. I don't even have to open up my own gallery. I don't need that. I just want to paint. I love painting. I've always loved painting. As a child, that was my thing. And I really want to get back to that. I find I'm in my happy place when I paint, and I want to start painting. I just want to have a room designated where I just paint. I don't know how, but I'm going to do it. And then you're like, you know what? I can do this. Then one day you're at the art store, or you go online, start buying the materials, and then before you know it, lo and behold, you're painting. Right? That could be you. That's playing small was the negativity. I can't do this. Why me? This and that. But that didn't happen in this case. And even if it did creep into your mind, you're like, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm doing it anyway. Because clearly the negativity is coming because something doesn't want me to do it. And it's not about them. It's about God. It's about me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put what God put in front of me, inside of me, to life. I'm going to activate my greatness. And that's not just one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to do a lot of things, God willing. Right? Just, I want you to imagine, queens, really close your eyes and imagine the transformation of your life and what it will look like if you start playing big. Think about that. What does it feel like? Where are you? Are you on the beach? Where are you? Whatever it is it luxury? Maybe it's not luxury. That's cool. Whatever. But I want you to imagine what that feels like. I'm closing my eyes for you. Because this vision, when I'm closing my eyes, it's not for me, it's for you. I want you to feel what it feels like to be in that. Remember, faith, knowing, being, to be it, to have that transformation, to have that life of what you want, because you're no longer playing small, you're playing big. And now you finally have what you've always wanted because you're believing in you. Think about that. I want you to really process that. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's special. It's possible. Okay? It is possible, queen. It is 100% possible. And this is something that you need to remember and activate and be aware of. Yeah. You got to do it because it has to be you. Yeah. It has to be you. If I didn't know, if I wasn't having the faith, if I didn't know, and I didn't believe, if I didn't have the faith and believing, if I didn't know and I wasn't being to know that I was supposed to do this podcast, if I wasn't here to coach and mentor women, if I wasn't supposed to do the great things that I'm doing, I wouldn't be here before you, right? I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if I didn't believe those things. This is why I said before, you could be a blessing to others. You can answer someone else's blessings by you doing what God wants you to do. Oh man, let me drop the mic. Do you know how special that is and powerful that is? That you could be a blessing for somebody else by you doing what God wants you to do? What? You think about someone that's homeless. And may God give ease to all those that are homeless. May they get the help and security that they need to get them out of those situations. And may God spare you from that as well. But imagine the situation where someone that is homeless is just hoping someone stops by and gives them money. They're like, God, please someone just give me anything. Here you come. Give them money. You just answered their blessing. You were a blessing to that person because you had the money. That's how it works. Or how many times have you gone somewhere like, oh my God, I wish this opportunity would open up, and God opens it up. Like it can happen that way, and it does happen that way. But you can truly be a blessing to other people by doing what God wants you to do, by you activating your greatness, by you walking in and being who you were created to be, by not playing small, not being on the sidelines, watching other people live their lives. Please. Listen, I like those Bravo shows. My mom and my sisters and I, we love those shows, right? But I do my best to reflect on, I cannot be so engrossed and immersed into those worlds. Why? One, majority of them are fake, okay? It's just entertainment. Like, come on. So it's just an entertainment. I'm just like, I don't want to immerse myself in that, to believe so immersed in other people's lives, whether it be fiction, fact, or fiction, whatever it is. I don't want to be so enamored with other people in their lives because I have a life to live too. And I have other lives that I need to impact too. Legacy. I need to bring legacy as well. I'll watch for a moment, but I don't let that be my world. And then only so much of that I can digest anyway. That's not something I could watch like back to back to back episodes. No, that's just like, okay, like that was enough. An episode was enough. Maybe two. Depends what it is, especially if it's like heated. But, it's just because it gets too much. I want to see, if I see anything, I want to see people working on themselves, character building, working on their dreams, because then it inspires me. I'm like, you know what? This is great. Look at what this woman's doing. This is amazing. I love it. And then also the negativity tearing each other down. That's why it's only so much I could take. I'm like, okay, I know it's scripted, but the negativity, it's just like, even then it's just like in doses I could take it. But, and especially when it gets to tearing each other down, I don't watch all of them. I'll tell you that. I'm not like, oh, I watch everything. No, I don't watch everything. I'm selective. My family and I were selective. However, I don't want to be into what other people are doing when we should be living our lives and make it colorful, right? Live loud, have a big life. Like, I don't want for you or anyone to, and I know for myself and my loved ones, I don't want to, that's just like watching someone swim in the ocean. I don't want to watch someone swim in the ocean. I want to swim in the ocean. I want to swim in that tropical, colorful, beautiful, green, see-through water. And then I want to get out and maybe have like a nice slushy pineapple drink or whatever you want. Maybe strawberry, whatever, non-alcoholic. Okay, that's my business. Just to feel the wind on my face and the sand in my feet. If you like the beach, if that's your thing, that's cool. If it's not, that's cool too. But that's what I want. I don't want to watch someone eating pizza. I want to eat pizza. You know what I mean? It's just like the sidelines. We've been conditioned to live on the sidelines and not take action for ourselves. We've been conditioned to believe the negativity about ourselves, the imposter syndrome. You're not good enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not young enough. Or your skin isn't pale enough or white enough. You're not enough. So therefore, you have to stay on the sidelines because you don't fit the description of what we want. Now, I say to that is, no, not on my watch. I don't think so. I do not think so. Not at all. No. Because you didn't give me life. They didn't give me life. So you can't tell me how to live my life. You are not the creator. You're created. So I'm not giving you power. And I refuse to stay on the sidelines because you said so. Be bold, queen, bold. Remember, reclaim your joy, bold, strong, power. Remember this fist I spoke about? You have to know you. You got to get back to knowing you. Get back to your birthright. Get back to your natural. You don't deserve for anyone to be telling you what to do and what you can and can't have, and that you're meant to stay over here. Excuse me? And sometimes that happens from childhood. Most of us are so traumatized from childhood being told what you can and can't do because of trauma built by generations from just bad people, just how the trauma's been passed down. A vicious cycle. This is the way we do things in our family. No, it's not. No. Teaching children to play small. My son, he was in school. Kids will hit. We do something about that. We don't do that in our house. You don't let anyone stamp on you. You don't stand on the sidelines. You don't let anyone hit you. You take action. You defend yourself. Right? You have to defend your life, queen. It's yours. Defend it. Stand up for it. God gave you your life. Your life. Your life. That is big. Lights on? Okay. Your life, that's huge. You don't ever take that lightly. God created you on purpose for a purpose. So therefore, be it. Be it. Because sometimes we can act like it, but acting could be pretending. People like fake it till you make it. No, don't fake it till you make it because it wears off. Make it real. Belief. Knowing. Be it. Not fake it. Be it. Be what you truly are. You see how fired up I get? No sidelines. And yes, it happens at childhood. It does. Stunting our belief that we can't do anything, can't have anything. Teaching children not to use their voice and not to think critically. And don't say that or don't say anything. No, just it's okay, or not listening to kids or anything. It starts from childhood. And as we get older, we get conditioned to stay in the background, not speak up, not take action. Well, I don't know how I'm going to be viewed, or this is going to happen, or that's going to happen. Where's that come from? We have to unlearn the negative ways that some of us were taught. Some of us, not all of us. Not all of us were taught that way. And I don't blame you for that, any of it. But now you know, and you got to start taking ownership of your life. Be the CEO, be the founder of your life. Please, Queen, you have to be that. You have to. And trust and believe you could work a job and still be the CEO of your life. Let me tell you, you know how? They can't talk to you any kind of way. If there's something you disagree with, you say no. You don't let anyone step on your toes. You give respect when respect is given. But if someone comes at you sideways disrespectfully, you stand up for yourself. You could go anywhere in your life with that attitude, with that belief, that being, that identity of who you truly are. See, sometimes we're conditioned to believe that, if you work a job, you're a slave to a job. That's not true. That's not true. You could be your own person and still be an employee. So I don't ever want to downplay anyone having a job ever, because I've had jobs and I'm so grateful, and I met wonderful people during the experience. Having a job was one of the best experiences of my life. And it's in the wonderful people and great people that are family to me now from where I am today. So I won't ever downplay having a job ever. And I don't want you to think the mindset is just because you have a job, that means you're a slave. That's not true. Slaves don't have options. Slaves can't leave the job. You can leave the job. Okay. A slave can't leave the plantation. There are consequences, right? And we could say, well, leaving my job, there's consequences. You can't pay for something, but you can always find another employment as long as it's the right way, honorable. But you can always find another employment. So, that the words that we say have power. So having a job is not slavery. You could be your own person, because every time I am anywhere in my family, we are who we are, and we stand strong. Because that's not something we tolerate. And what happens is, and when you're at your jobs, people look at you like, this person's our leader. You're like, I wasn't trying to be the leader, but okay. You know what I mean? Because you need a voice, someone to defend the people. And that's the thing about Sidelines. Most people, you'll see things, corrupt things happen. Well, what can we do about it? That's just the way it is. There's nothing we could do. No. We have to take action for what's right. And that's what playing big is. And I understand as we get older, when you're younger, we have that vigor. We have that tenacity that I could do anything. Kids are like, yeah, especially if they're not being conditioned, because naturally as children, we come out that way like, I can do anything. And that's true. We should always keep that with us. That youthful heart that I can do anything. I want to do anything. That's good. I can't wait. That excitement, it's exciting. But sometimes we get conditioned for the negativity. But we need to get back to that joyfulness. I could do anything. That playing, big kids are like, I'm doing it all. But then as adults come along, and again, we have to have the safety, but then that risk taking. And I understand as adults, you'll be like, I can't put all my chips in this basket because I never know what's going to happen. I don't know. And I get it. You don't want to put all your apples in one basket. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But we're all taking a risk. We take a risk. We take a risk. Every time we wake up and we go outside, anything can happen. We take a risk. If you drive a car, taking a risk. If you get on a plane, taking a risk. Everywhere you go, we're taking a risk. You're taking a risk, but you're taking a risk because you deserve to have a good life. So you're doing it. You're like, no, I deserve to go here. I should be able to go here. And you should. So what's the difference between you and your dreams? What's the difference between you and your goals? I'll wait. There's no difference. You have to take action. It's like, oh yeah, but those require more time. Yeah, they do. It does require more time and effort. Absolutely. But you should do it because it's in there for a reason. God put that there in you for a reason. And back to where I was saying that everything's a risk. Going outside is taking a risk. Everything's a risk. But God is there to protect you. That's the thing. That's the comfort. That's the thing about faith and having faith in God. Because when you have faith in Him, you will have faith in yourself. And you know that although I'm going out in the world, I don't know what I'm going to encounter today. I know God has my back. I know I can relax. I can lean back. He's got my back. Do you know, I was going out the door yesterday, and I needed a fork. And I was just like, oh, don't you know God placed a disposable fork, the ones that are wrapped in plastic. He just put it there. He had it there. I don't know who in my family left it there, but it was meant for me. Yay. But God knew. He's like, Nadira, I know you're going to need that fork, so I'm going to leave it there for you. And it worked out because I needed it. So I'm eating my fruit in the car and everything, and it worked out perfectly. It seems so small. They're like, oh, that's nothing. It's not nothing. It's acknowledging the good and the miracles and the ease that God's putting in our life. God's like, that just brought some joy to your life. I just brought ease to you. I want you to acknowledge I did that. Say thank you. Be happy and joyful. And let's keep going and bring that to other people. That's great. So this is why it's so important for us to not play small, play big, whatever it is. And it doesn't, and another thing, a lot of people think like opening own business, entrepreneurs playing big. No, there's risk in that too. It doesn't mean that doesn't have to be your story. I see a lot of this entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is great. It really is. If that's what you want. Because I could tell you, entrepreneurship is also very hard. I understand why a lot of people don't do it, because it's hard. The ROI, the return on your investment doesn't happen sometimes for most entrepreneurs for years. I forget the stats, but I believe something, I'm paraphrasing, but most businesses don't survive 5 years. 5 years. They're closing too, most of them, because you're not getting return on your investment. You're investing so much, the overhead's high, and you're not seeing the return. And that's why, getting a job is just like, what, at least I know what I'm getting day to day. And that's okay too. There's no shame in that. You're earning honorable pay. How is that a bad thing? That's why I said you could first of all, be the CEO of your life. And also you could be a CEO at your job as well, because it's what's in here. But I don't want it to be like, well, then I guess I have to start my own company. Is that what you want? Like, that's what I think. The thing about playing on the sidelines is what happens is you will condition ourselves to look at other people's lives so much we don't know what we want for ourselves anymore. We don't know what we like. We don't know what we want. We don't know what we love. That's a scary thing. That's the problem. That's the problem with playing small and staying on the sidelines, because you don't know you anymore. You don't know what you like. That's like watching someone always listening to country music, and you hate country music, but all of a sudden you like country music. You've always loved the blues, but now you listen to country music and you're like, wait a minute, I don't even like country music, but that's all I watch. You're like, so why are you listening to country music? Like, I don't know. It was just there. Like, I know it's something silly, but it's just like, it's one of those things. If someone kept feeding you something you don't like, you're like, well, I just kept eating it. Why? Do you know what you like anymore? No, not really. No. And then you become this dull person. You're becoming what you're not. That's why the 3 stages of faith. The third one is that identity. You're becoming who you were not. And then that's what will stay. That will stay. Do you know how heartbreaking that is? That it will stay? Queen, come on. And I get it. I totally get it. Age, we're getting older. I get it. But there's so many success stories. And you know what? Even if you haven't heard of one, you be it. You be the first success story. You be the one. You be the only person that you know of that made it happen. Whatever age you are. You be the first. That's what I mean. You could be 25, 35, 65, 75, 85. Look, if you're breathing, do it. If God's giving you another day to open your eyes, I say it is time you start activating your greatness and play big. That's what I think. That's what I know. That's what I believe. That's what you have to start doing, Queen. I'm serious. In my core. If I was doing Pilates, my core, and I do want to do Pilates, yeah, you got to start, Queen. It has to be you. No one else is going to do it for you. No one. What did Mel Robbins say? Nobody's coming to save you. She's not lying. You're not lying. No one's coming. How many times in school can anyone take your test? No. If you need to go somewhere, can anyone drive for you? No. You have it delivered, but you still have to, take action and put the order together. Do you understand? You know, Queen, you have to be the one that does it. And you are the right person to do it. That's what I'm saying, Queen. You're amazing. Don't waste your life and believing that you're not powerful. Don't waste your life and watching other people live their lives. Don't waste your life doing that. If you have a hard time focusing on you and you're so engrossed, whether you're watching reality TV or just staying on your phone, watching things that don't empower you and don't get you closer to your dreams, then you got to stop watching it. That's just it. You have to. And let me tell you, and I know it's hard because we have to make an income, and it's hard because we're just tired. It's just like, where am I going to find the time? I get it. Trust me, I get it. But give yourself at least 30 minutes a day or 15 minutes a day just to work on your dream. You know? Even if you just think about it, just for a bit. Don't think about it too long because you ain't going to take action. Like, we got to take action. But just think about it. And then start taking action, Queen. Please. Because I want to see you glow up the way that God wants for you. I want you to accomplish your dreams. I want you to have a full life, a big life, a colorful life, an expressive life, a life that you want. So you can swim in the ocean and feel the sun on your face and the sand on your feet and drinking those nice sparkly non-alcoholic drinks because that's my business. Okay? I want you to do those things. And you want to do those things, but you got to get back to knowing what you want. What do you want? I don't want to hear about anybody else. I don't want to hear about anybody else because that's not serving you. What do you want? What do you believe? How are you going to get it? That's what we want to talk about. If you went to a financial advisor and you told them about somebody else, they would be like, okay, so you need to go because you're talking about someone else's finances and I'm your client. I mean, you're my client. I don't. You. Right? So that's how deep it goes, Queen. Deep. What do you want? What do you like? What do you love? Who do you love? Right? You better love you. Seriously. You got to start doing it. So I try not to make it heavy. I want you to think about the things. When you think about one thing that you want, one thing you like, one thing you love. When it comes to your goals, what is it that you want? And then we got to start working on, I want you to make a plan of how you're going to start doing it. Got to stop waiting, Queens, okay? No more sidelines. No more watching the marathon runners do the New York run or whatever they do, which is great for them. Cool. I forget what it's called. The New York Marathon. No more watching people in the New York Marathon, figuratively. Start taking action. Run to your dreams. Be one of the runners. Run to your dreams. Okay? Dreams. Remember, not one dream. Dreams. You have many goals. You have many gifts. But let's take care of one first. But let's start doing it. Okay, Queen? So no more playing small. We are playing big. No more sidelines. We are taking action on the life that we want. We're trying to figure out what we like, what we want, and what we love. And we're not confusing ourselves anymore onto what everyone else says and what everyone thinks we should do and have and who we are. No. We're centering ourselves and we're bringing ourselves at peace and we're getting back to us. Get your love letter to you together, Queen. Okay? And stop waiting. Okay? Gotta stop waiting. This episode is for you. It's all for you. Duh. So you gotta start doing it, okay? And as always, you are much more powerful than you know. Right? You come from greatness, so greatness lives in you. And you are powerfully her. And forever forward and never backwards. And I will see you, God willing, in the next episode. Thanks. Bye.